Lust. Jesus got to the heart of the matter. What if what you want is more important than following Jesus? Well, then that's the real problem. Jesus said, don't lust. Good morning and welcome to 755 Live. For about 5 minutes, you'll hear all about easy to remember soundbite versions of what Jesus said. And the point is to help you experience life to the fullest, the Jesus way. Today's Jesus Said comes from Matthew 27 through 29. We're actually going to read through verse 30. In the New Living Translation, starting with verse 27, you have heard the commandment that says, you must not commit adultery. Now, just unpacking that a little bit here, this was the Old Testament law, which was in full effect at this time, and adultery was actually the death penalty, okay? But Jesus took this to a higher level. Verse 28, but I say, anyone who even looks at a woman with lust has already committed adultery with her in his heart. So if your eye, even your good eye, causes you to lust, then gouge it out and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. So we're going to read some context here about what Jesus was talking about. Let's look at verse 17 through 19, where Jesus said, "Don't misunderstand why I've come. I did not come to abolish the law of Moses or the writings of the prophets. No, I came to accomplish their purpose." Other translations say to fulfill. We were actually talking about this a few minutes ago at early morning prayer. He said, I tell you the truth, until heaven and earth disappear, not even the smallest detail of God's law will disappear until its purpose is achieved. So if you ignore the least commandment and teach others to do the same, you will be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But anyone who obeys God's laws and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Jesus was making the point here that the law is not a bad thing, but it's more than a checklist. And for the topic of not lusting, it's more than a checklist of the kinds of sexuality that are not permitted. This was a heart check. Jesus got to the heart of the matter. Lust is the problem, not sex. The definition of lust here in the original language in Greek means to lust after, to covet. It also talks about those who seek things forbidden. You see, our feelings and our desires are not our identity. They are temporary. They're physical. Now, society has it upside down. We identify by what we want. And we say that what we want is the most important thing. But Jesus revealed that denying ourselves is how we experience our real identity, who we were created to be. And that's like Jesus, his righteousness, not ours. And the measures that Jesus talks about that we should take in order to make sure that we're in the kingdom are sometimes pretty extreme. I mean, gouge out your right eye. In the cultural context, that was your good eye, your strength. It's really drastic. But we're told to pray, lead us not into temptation. It's not how close to the line of sin you can get. It's not about just keeping the big checklist of sins. Those are pretty easy. But how far can we get our heart away from sin? Jesus said it's not just about the checklist. Don't even lust. Don't even covet or seek after something that is forbidden, even if it's what we want. And sometimes the things that we want aren't really all that bad. It's just that they're not the best. Paul talks about this. He says, therefore, in Romans 14:16, do not let your good be spoken of as evil. It's way beyond just having a checklist. Sometimes we go above and beyond even the rules to stay away from sin, because it's not the checklist that matters, it's our hearts. And lust is the problem. And Jesus said, don't lust. How can you put that into action today. Thank you so much for listening. If this is meaningful to you, it really means a lot to me. If you like it, if you share it, if you comment, I really appreciate you. I hope that you have an amazing day, and I hope this time together has helped you live life to the fullest the Jesus way. So remember, follow Jesus today. Love first.